Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Many of us know who Jane Fonda is. And for those of you who don't, Jane Fonda's an actress. She made many well-received films over the years. Many. But overshadowing her acting career is probably the fact that during the Vietnam War, Jane Fonda was on the side of what we consider to be the enemy. She went to Hanoi to visit the North Vietnamese and came back and pronounced us to be wrong in the Vietnam War. Now, you may agree or disagree with that, and I really don't care. We're not talking about that this hour. Anyway, just to tell you who Jane Fonda is. Jane Fonda was also married to, among other people, Ted Turner. Ted Turner, the founder of CNN and several cable channels you know. Later was an executive at Time Warner. Big shareholder there. Ted's a billionaire. And Jane Fonda, now that her acting career is pretty much over, now that she's got 300,000 miles on the odometer, she's doing what everybody with 300,000 miles on the odometer in the entertainment business does. She's written a book about her marriages to French director Roger Vadim and then later to Ted Turner. And she's been appearing everywhere, flogging this book, including, most notably, 60 Minutes. She was on 60 Minutes Sunday night. And I'm looking at the Fox News Channel website, foxnews.com. And here is a little bit about Jane Fonda. Of course, over there at the Fox News Channel, I'm sure they are riveted following every move of Jane Fonda so they can use it as grist for the mill. And that's what they should do. That's their gig. But here's the story from foxnews.com on Jane Fonda. Just one of the elements of her book and one of the things she's been talking about on the talk show circuit. Jane Fonda says her marriage to Ted Turner ended for two distinct reasons. One, her conversion to Christianity, and two, notably, number two, his continuous cheating. In her spellbinding autobiography, My Life So Far, Fonda reveals that she made the religious conversion without telling her husband of almost 8 years. She writes, I hadn't told Ted beforehand because by then I didn't feel we were on the same team. Ted was the owner of the Atlanta Braves. What team did Jane know? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the marital team. Yeah. Alongside the frantic life we shared, I was living a parallel inner life where I took care of my own needs. Oh, really? I also knew that if I discussed with him my need for spirituality, he would have either asked me to choose between him and it or bullied me out of it. I believe Ted Turner is, at the very least, an agnostic. I don't know if he's an atheist. I certainly seem to agree with a lot of his points of view on religion, I can tell you that. Fonda writes that her religious conversion coincided with the realization that Turner had never stopped cheating on her. Well, that's a good way to solve that problem. Don't leave the guy. Become a Christian. The guy's cheating on you, so you say, you know what? Poof. I'm a Christian. Good thinking there, Jane. A month into their marriage, she'd found out he'd had a nooner with another woman. She confronted him and bashed him over the head with a mobile phone. And back then, mobile phones were like bricks. Now, if you bash somebody over the head with one of those Nokia phones, we just play the national anthem of Finland or something, but it wouldn't really hurt anybody. Through counseling, they eventually reconciled, but Fonda had more disappointments to come. And here is the quote we're going to talk about this hour. This is Jane Fonda in her book. She writes, "He had spent our whole last year together looking for my replacement." Kind of like when Seinfeld was canceled. Looking for a replacement. Like they're doing with Dan Rather right now, as a matter of fact. The day we parted, 3 days after the millennium, he flew to Atlanta to drop me off. As I drove from the airport to my daughter's home in a rental car, my replacement was waiting in the hangar to board his plane. My seat was still warm. Now, we've all been in declining relationships. Either the other person has done us wrong or doesn't meet our needs, or the fact is there are times we don't meet other people's needs, or we're bad, and the relationship is headed downhill. There are times when you're with somebody and it's just not working out, but you know what? Many of us cannot simply be alone. Like, we can't just leave and get our own place and be by ourselves. Many times we jump from one relationship to the next. I know I'm talking to millions of you who've done this. Never taking a breather. Can't stand to live alone. Think there's something dysfunctional about yourself or wrong about yourself if you take a little sabbatical from relationships. Maybe just bang around a little bit and then go home, live by yourself, read the entire Sunday paper every Sunday. You know, watch all the TV shows you want to watch. Take the vacations to places you want to go. Not have to consult somebody about every little thing and compromise on every little thing. Many of us just jump right into the next situation. And the way we do it is in this cold, calculating manner, like the one that Jane Fonda describes here that she alleges about Ted Turner. Rather than just saying, goodbye, I'm done, many people start looking for the replacement while still in the current relationship. Now, there's any number of ways of doing this. Some people keep their eyes open at the office. Some people have more devious means, like placing personal ads or slipping into places like JDate or Match.com. Personal ads. Some people actually are just out there trolling around, trying to find the next Mr. or Mrs. You. They just can't be alone. Can't do it. And after my last divorce, I said, that's it. I'm living alone. I'm doing it. In fact, it wasn't even after the divorce. It was a couple of years before the divorce. That was it. I was out. Spent time alone. Why? Because in the past, I had done things like this. I had been in a relationship and then, poof, left one person's apartment for another person's apartment. Just went right to the next one. That's it. There's an auditioning process that goes along. I think men and women do it differently. But many people are in relationships, and they're not just looking to F around. They're not just looking to have a nooner at the hotel. They're looking for the next relationship because they need to be in a relationship. They have to be in a relationship. They can't just be on their own. You know, in the past when I remember having done such a thing, you think to yourself, what if I were hit by a bus? What if I fell down the stairs or something and there was nobody there to worry about me or to call 911? What would I do? People think like that. By the way, I learned by being in relationships with people who, even if I fell down the stairs, they wouldn't call 911. And if I became terminally ill, they just go, oh, my God, look at the time, gotta go. I learned eventually that you're alone. Even when you're with other people, you can be alone. It doesn't really matter. And frankly, if you're living with somebody and you feel like you're alone, you're better off being alone. There's nothing more lonely than being with another person and feeling like you're alone. You're better off being alone. But most of us don't learn this lesson until years pass. Eventually you do learn. Unless you're Ted Turner, if you believe Jane Fonda. So I'm talking to you now, okay? There you are in a, for some reason, unsatisfying relationship. You could be a man or a woman, I don't care, but there you are, you're just not happy. Things are not going your way. You don't feel fulfilled, you feel put upon, you feel controlled, you feel like you're not getting enough sex, you feel like the other person wants too much sex, you feel like the other person doesn't care about you anymore, whatever, and so you have begun auditioning for a replacement. You're the person I want to talk to.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I have nothing but the greatest amount of appreciation, gratitude, and respect for what you're doing here. I really thank you.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. All right, there you are. You're in a relationship. But you're not very happy. So you're essentially auditioning for a replacement. It's Angelica on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Angelica.
I'm not going to ask you how you are today.
Oh, okay, good. You don't care anyway.
I have a problem, Tom.
Yes, dear.
I need a man. I don't want a relationship. I need a couple of men, actually. Just a couple of friends to do what I want to do. And I'm having a very hard time finding that out here.
But you're not in a relationship.
I'm in one of those relationships where you've been going out for a while and then you decided to cut the title, but you still do everything you did before you cut the title.
Because you just have to be in something that resembles a relationship.
Because I like the company of a man, yes.
Mm-hmm. I see. Now, couldn't you just, have some booty calls and not actually have anything resembling a relationship?
Well, booty call is part of a relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, but the point is, it's really not booty call if you're in a relationship. Is it? Is it?
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. I mean, that's what...
if you're in a relationship, it's far more than booty call, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. That's what I'm saying, the post-relationship part, where you've actually broken up and you maybe go out to eat and then you go have your booty call part, Yeah,
but again... Oh, okay, but the point is, why do you need to be going out to dinner with somebody you had a relationship with? Why can't the relationship simply end?
I guess that's easier said than done sometimes. Like you said, I like to be in that sort of atmosphere, in that sort of relationship.
But you realize the minute you're in another relationship, that good buddy of yours you're having dinner with, but you're not having sex with, your new boyfriend's going to say, I don't want you seeing that guy anymore.
Well, that's fine, because a lot of times...
So you'll dump him at that point, right? You'll dump...
a new man, it's easier to break up with the old one.
But does this guy know that you're just going to simply drop him or throw him away like a...
We've broken up like 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we just drop the title, and then I'll get mad at him, and we won't talk for a week, and then we'll start talking again, and then we'll start booty calling again, and... It's been going on. But he
understands that the minute you meet somebody, you told him this.
Pardon?
You've told him that the minute you meet somebody else, it's over.
Not in so many words.
Why not?
With him.
You know why you haven't? It's because you're afraid
but you know what I have
that he's just going to simply dump you.
I have told him I will never marry him. I have told him that I will never
Irrelevant.
have his kids.
Irrelevant. Maybe he didn't want to have kids. Maybe he doesn't want to get married. Irrelevant. The reason you don't tell him that the minute you have a boyfriend, you'll dump him is because then you're afraid he won't go to dinner with you anymore.
Well, I understand what you're saying, Tom, but that's not my problem. My question for you today is, where can I go to meet men? I have gone on the internet, and I'm not a bad-looking chick, and I was under the impression that only ugly people...
Well, we have different standards. I don't know, where are you from on the East Coast?
I'm from Connecticut.
All right. You know we have different standards here than you have on the East Coast.
And what would that entail?
Well, put it this way. A good-looking chick in Connecticut is an average-looking chick here. You're laughing,
okay.
But that's a fact. It's not an accident they didn't film Baywatch in Montauk, Long Island, okay?
You're funny.
Yeah, you know it's true. Yeah, what do you think they gotta film a show like that in what, Jones Beach?
Well,
Ever notice they never film shows like that in Far Rockaway?
And
Why do you think that is?
Because this is where most of the studios are.
Dear,
And I understand that, but
there are TV shows that take place in New York.
But most
There are lots of them.
are here in L.A.
No, but dear, I'm not saying... Dear, Friends took place in New York, but was shot in Burbank, okay? Seinfeld took place in New York, but was shot in Studio City. It has nothing to do with where the studios are. The show takes place wherever they want it to take place.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, so why doesn't Baywatch take place... why didn't they shoot Baywatch in Far Rockaway, Queens? And the answer is simple, because chicks are hotter here.
Okay.
So you better do a little gut check. Well, first check to see if you have a gut, and then, because a lot of girls in the East Coast do, you better do a little check and make sure you're as hot as the other chicks here.
So can you answer my question?
Well, we have to start with this, dear. This is what we have to start with. You think you're all that, and you know, in New Haven, you might have been the hottest girl in Hartford, okay? But this is a different world.
I never said I was all that. I said I'm a cute-looking chick.
All right, but what does that mean? You're 5?
Pardon?
What are you, a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say about 8.5.
An 8.5. Is that a Connecticut 8.5 or an L.A. 8.5?
I think I look good, and people I meet...
Where in Connecticut are you from?
Problem in that area.
Where in Connecticut? Well, you're having a problem now, so obviously there's something wrong. You didn't have a problem in Hartford or New Haven. Where in Connecticut are you from?
Originally New Haven, but I moved around a lot.
New Haven. There we go. You're a New Haven girl. I've been to New Haven, Connecticut.
Really? Where about?
I've just, been passing through. I was on the radio in New Haven and did a show there once. I've spent a little time in New Haven. Not the hottest chicks on the planet. I mean, if you're an 8.5 in New Haven, that doesn't tell us anything.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, if you're an 8.5 in New Haven, that doesn't tell us much.
I'm an 8.5 to me. I don't know if that's a New Haven 8.5 or an LA 8.5 or whatever.
If you're an 8.5 in New Haven...
Answer my question, Tom. You're a funny guy, and I know this is good.
I'm just being honest with you, dear.
I totally feel you. I feel you. I love you. But I'm saying, help me out.
I'm trying to help you, dear, but the first step to helping you out is having you come to grips with the following. What may have passed for really hot in Connecticut or Boston or New York City may only be average in Los Angeles.
Okay.
All right, let's start with that. Most chicks who think they're all that from back east have big hair and a can of Aquanet in their purse and a few extra pounds in their gut.
Well, I never said that I was all that. That's first of all.
All right, but if you're an 8.5, you do think you're all that. And one thing L.A. will do is bring you right back down to size.
No, I've been out here a year, and I still think I'm an 8.5.
I know you think that,
Do you think I'm an 8.5, Monica? What do you think? You're just saying that. I'm sorry, I'm asking my friend what she thinks I am.
Yeah, what's she going to do, tell you the truth? What's she going to do, tell you the truth? Come on. Now, dear, again, people can say they're whatever they are, but if you've been in Los Angeles a year and you can't find guys or guys aren't interested in you, maybe it's you.
All right, Tom.
But look at you. You're in denial about it. It couldn't possibly be you because you're all that. That's what you believe.
No, I mean, I've had relationships. I've had a couple of guy friends. What I'm saying is that I have not met anyone other than this one guy that, you know, I'm kind of halfway seeing now. I'm trying to find new people to engage in conversation with and to have fun with and to go out and hang with, and I'm having a hard time.
Guys want to get laid. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want. We're not looking to go out to foreign films with you. We're looking to get laid. If you're looking for guys who just want to hang out, you're wasting your time.
All right.
Why don't you just hang out with chicks if you need people to hang out with? You got girlfriends, hang out with them. When you're ready to get laid, then talk about guys.
I am ready to get laid. That's my problem.
Yeah, but dear, stop talking about, I'm just looking for somebody to hang out with. You don't want to hang out with. You want everything hanging out. And if that's not what you want from a guy, don't spin your wheels. You're wasting your time. I think guys in L.A. are much more upfront about what they want. They want sex.
Oh, I don't think so.
People on the East...
Guys in L.A. are like, so...
Oh,
this
stop.
is what I have, and this is what I can do, and this is how much money...
Yeah, but why do they tell you that? Because they want to get laid.
Well, that's whack.
Guys in New York are full of crap because they're like, let's go to the opera. Hey, and then we'll go down to the library, we'll hang out, and then there's a new exhibit at the Guggenheim Museum. I'll take you over there. And the guy also wants to get laid, but they have to pull all these layers of pretense on it. In L.A., it's pretty simple. I live in zip code 90210, and I drive a Ferrari or a Maybach, and I'll come pick you up at 8, and I'll bring you back tomorrow morning, bring an extra pair of panties. We're pretty straightforward about what we want. And you girls from the East Coast come into the West Coast, and you act like we're a bunch of doofuses here, but oh, you're so plastic. No, we're honest. We tell you how much money we have, and we're letting you know that because we've got money, we expect sex.
You know what? In my experience, I've only been out here a little over a year.
Out here. Dear, stop calling it out here. Do you plan to move back or something?
What matters what I call it?
Well, dear, you sound like a foreigner.
Well, you know what? My heart is in Connecticut.
Then go back to Connecticut. You'll be the hottest chick outside the Yale campus. You could just hang out there. What's the main drag there outside the campus? You'll be the hottest chick in town. But you're in L.A. now, and there's real competition. You're in the same city with Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek, okay? There, you're not all that anymore.
Same men as Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek, whoever they are.
You don't know who they are? Yeah, okay.
I know they're actresses, but I don't care.
Yeah, well, most of the guys who aren't interested in you, they know who they are. You see?
I don't know many black guys who like them that much.
What do you mean you don't know many black? I'll tell you what, every black guy listening to this show right now would take Salma Hayek or Penelope Cruz any night of the week.
I'm sure I was about to cuss. I'm sure they'd, do a booty call or whatever, but I'm talking about the black guys I know.
Really?
Probably would not take either one of them over a Beyonce.
Darling, don't make me prove this to you, okay?
I'm just saying...
Because I guarantee you there's an awful lot of black men, and they listen to this show, by the way, awful lot of black men who, once they've got the money, I'm not mentioning O.J. Simpson or Brian Gumbel by name, there's an awful lot of black men, once they got the money, suddenly they can afford a blonde.
This is true.
You know it's true.
But hey, Tom, I got to run, but could you do me a favor? Say hi to my stepmom. She loves your show. And
does she really?
Kobe style.
All right, here you go, Angelica.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800. Tom.
I don't think women understand how important fellatio is to most men. I don't think they get it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Are you auditioning your replacement? There you are in a relationship where you're not happy. But you just can't be alone, so you have to start auditioning for the replacement before you get out of the current situation. Are you doing that? Let's say hello to Jay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
It's going okay.
I think I got the worst situation of actually having to go out and find somebody else.
All right. Do tell.
Well, I've been married about 5 years. I have 2 kids. About the time we had our second kids, about 7 months ago, my wife found God.
She found God.
Yeah.
And what was that? You're kind of like Jane Fonda. And what was that like?
It was all right at first. You know, she went to church, she did her thing, and then all of a sudden it went from, once a week to twice a week to 4 to 5 times a week. And now it's gotten to the point where all her time is spent there. Our relationship and love life means...
Now, do you see why we tell you not to get married at 20?
Yeah.
You understand that now?
Yeah, well, I had my first child.
Yeah, well, why did you knock her up?
Just...
Because you were stupid?
Irresponsible, yeah.
Yeah, irresponsible, stupid. And then you didn't have to get married to her just because you did something stupid.
No, but
and then you didn't have to have another kid with her.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
But you did it anyway.
Well, I thought it was love.
But you were stupid, right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know her well enough, and guess what? She didn't know herself well enough.
No, because we had only been together about a year, and then that happened.
Right. And what form of birth control were you using?
The pull-out method.
Yeah. How does that work?
Obviously not too well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm just making this point. I mean, it's too late for you to do anything about it, but there's other morons out there who are thinking of doing exactly what you did. And I want them to hear what happened to you. All right, so there you are now. You're 25 with 2 kids, married 5 years, and suddenly you're married to a Bible thumper. And so what? You started auditioning the replacement before you want to get into another stupid situation, right?
Well, it's leading that way.
But why wait. Why do you need to find a replacement?
I don't know.
Because you're an idiot.
Yeah, I've had the feeling that I need to be in a relationship.
Why do you need to be in a relationship?
Well, I don't know. It's nice to come home to somebody.
I don't care how nice it is. You don't need it. You know what you do need? A little time to figure out who Jay is.
Yeah, that's what a lot of my friends tell me, too.
Well, I've known you for 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and I'm already saying the same thing your friends are saying. Maybe we know something.
Maybe.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with.
So what do you do? Take the kids out to the park and start chatting up chicks? What do you do?
No, I met a girl at my work that does the same field of work that I do, and we kind of just hit it off. It hasn't escalated into nothing bad yet.
But first of all, you work with her. That's bad.
Well, I work construction, so we kind of I don't see her all the time.
I don't care. If things don't work out, she can sue you. And the company.
Really?
Really? Ever hear of sexual harassment suits?
Well, yeah, but it's kind of mutual between both of us.
How? A lot of these things are mutual until you get sued.
I don't know. I told her what's going on between me and my wife.
It doesn't matter. Look, why couldn't you just be alone for a couple of years? I'm not saying don't have sex. I'm just saying be alone. Think before you do the next thing. And by the way, is this chick married too?
No.
She have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
She has a boyfriend. So let's review. Both of you are thinking on cheating on the people you're with. What do you think that's going to mean down the line when the next relationship doesn't work out?
I have no idea.
Let me give you a clue. If she cheats on her boyfriend with you, she'll cheat on you with somebody else.
More likely. I think it's more or less that it's just I want it to be more of a booty call than I do a relationship.
How? Until you do the pull-out method again.
No, I use a Jimmy.
Yeah, and what about her?
I don't know.
Yeah. Does she have any kids?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you don't even know. What kind of audition is this?
An off and on one?
It's kind of a half-ass thing you're doing here.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, you just need to simply get out.
Yeah, that's what they say, but I don't know. Now that
You're too much of a little boy to live by yourself? You need mommy there with you?
No.
Yeah, you do. You need mommy.
I guess that's basically what it means.
Yeah. I mean, for Christ's sake, you got married at 20. Did you move out of your mommy's house and in with your new mommy?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So you're one of those guys. Gotta have mommy.
Yeah, I made some really bad decisions in my life.
But you're still doing it. You're laughing. This isn't funny.
No, I know.
But why would you want to repeat the same bad behavior?
I don't know. I feel like maybe if I have somebody on the side, or not really on the side, but somebody that when this falls out, I have somebody to lay back onto.
Why do you need that? You're too weak to do it on your own?
I don't know. I haven't had lots of relationships, so.
Son, you've had too many relationships too fast.
Yeah.
Where's your father?
Prison.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You know, if I were your dad, I'd kick your ass.
Yeah, that's probably what I needed, too.
That is exactly what you need. I knew your dad wasn't around. It shows. I can smell it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a mama's boy.
There's no doubt about it. What did Joanne want to say to Jay here?
Hi, Tom. Hi, Jay.
How's it going?
Hi.
It's going. You know, Jay, I got to say, I'm sitting here listening to you, especially about the woman that you met at work. Let me tell you something from a woman's point of view. You're sobbing on her shoulder. You're looking for a soft place to fall, and she's looking at you saying you are a sucker. And Tom is 100% right. If you go into any type of intimate relationship with this woman and then you break it off, she will sue you. She will sue the company. You are in for a world of hurt that you have never even imagined in your life. You think your life is bad now? You go ahead and pull a stunt like that. You have no clue. You need to start listening to Tom Leykis every day. You need to take his advice, and you need to try to be on your own for a while because you are just a walking nightmare, and women can smell it a mile away, and they will take advantage of you like you would not believe.
Well, yeah, but she makes it sound like, you know, it's no big deal to her. Her relationship isn't working out any better than mine.
It's a big deal to you. Do you give a rat's ass about yourself? Hello?
Yeah.
Do you give a rat's ass about yourself?
Yes.
You do. You don't need to be in another relationship. You need time by yourself. You need time to do your own laundry. You need time to make your own din-din. And you need time to sit and think. Have you ever done that before? Have you taken 1 second in your life since kindergarten to just be by yourself and think?
Actually, since I turned 18, no.
No.
How old are your kids?
5 and 7.5 months.
Are boys or girls?
Boy and a girl.
By the way, Jay, I might point out, 7.5 months ago you were miserable, weren't you?
Yeah.
And let's add 9 months onto that. 16.5 months ago, when you knocked up your wife, you were miserable then, too.
Well, yeah, I never really wanted to get married, but it was just...
But you didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to have a second child. Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just thought it would be the family role.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're going to be paying her for the next 17 years, you moron.
Tom
Really?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
If I'm getting laid, I don't want to know I'm loved. If you love me, how about you keep that thought to yourself?
The Tom Leykis Show.
All right, our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. Tom@blowmeuptom.com. Or if you've got comments about our show, you can call us here 24 hours a day. The number is area code 310-842-9592. Any comments about the way we do business? 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.